Corey Smallwood. Corey has 27 years coaching, consulting, and owning and operating gyms. Corey's the current owner and operator of Go Performance in Clarksburg, Maryland. He's also the current co-owner of Living Fit 40 and Beyond, which is an online platform. He's been speaking for Perform Better now for a couple of years. Very happy to have him here today. Corey Smallwood.
Thank you, Aaron. And thank you, everybody, for joining me today. If you're on this, obviously, you're either interested or intrigued about AI or ChatGPT or how it may impact the fitness industry. It is a very hot topic, and let's dive right into it. But before we get into it, I do want to thank Chris. I want to thank Aaron. I want to thank everybody at Perform Better. Hopefully, if you're on this this webinar, you are also a fan of Perform Better. I have been a customer of theirs for a very long time. I have worked with them as an alliance partner for many, many years, and they are the top when it comes to education. They are also the best when it comes to equipment as well. I know when I talk with a lot of my clients, or when I say clients, guys, I do consulting as well as own a gym. So I have my member clients and then I have my consulting clients. When I talk with my consulting clients and we outfit a gym with Perform Better, sometimes I get a little pushback and wow, they're expensive compared to stuff that I can get online. Guys, I'm going to tell you two things. One is you get what you pay for, but two is you're not just buying pieces of metal, you are buying the Perform Better team. And they are there for you to answer questions, to help you out. Use them. I just had a client, another gym, who had their bikes, their air bikes, and the foot pedal stripped out. And instead of saying what was probably put in wrong, I literally called them. They're sending them out a new crank and a new pedal, and they're wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to work with. So that's my thank you to Perform Better, and thank you guys for showing up. Again, I have crossed the 28 year in May, and I must have gotten started when I was like 6 years old in fitness. I am still a training gym owner. I run one-on-one training, semi-private training. I run team training. So I'm in your world as well. I know there are a lot of consultants and gurus out there that aren't. They don't have the boots on the street, if you will, like you guys are. I am in the mud, in the day-to-day. I actually, right before the seminar, had somebody walk in, want information on my gym. So it was like, okay, I got to get her information and get onto this webinar at the same time. As Aaron said, I consult, I present. I love all things AI. I'm former vice president of National Fitness Business Alliance, former vice president of ActiveTrack. So I've been doing a lot in this field. So going from the upper left, that's me coaching one of my clients. Bottom left is this past year in Chicago when I did a presentation on how AI is going to impact the fitness industry. Upper right is a workshop that I was doing for one of my consulting gyms out. I think we were doing a mobility workshop for their members there. And then bottom right is a picture of my gym, and then a consulting company is named Gemini. So let's talk about ChatGPT. This is our entry level. This is our gateway drug into all things AI. And if you are not using ChatGPT, I'm going to tell you, start today. I mean, just find 20 minutes, go to ChatGPT and play around. I don't know if you heard the Strength Coach podcast, but working with Ant, it was really funny because we were talking about ChatGPT, and he's like, what website do I go to? He had never played with it before. And, he's highly respected in this industry. So my guess is most people on this webinar have either played or dabbled with it, and most people and others have never seen it, never tried it, but have definitely heard about it. So I'm going to kind of open the curtains, pull the veil, and show you kind of the backside of ChatGPT, but most importantly, how you can use it to better, whether it's your training, your gym, whatever your role is in the fitness industry. So I asked Chat to write a bio for me, and Corey is a 28-year veteran of the fitness industry and a leader in gym management, AI integration, fitness programming. As the owner of Go Performance Clarksburg and a founder of the consulting company Gemini, Corey specializes in helping gyms leverage cutting-edge tools like ChatGPT to drive growth, engagement, and efficiency. A former vice president of operations for the NFBA, Corey has been empowering fitness professionals to succeed in an evolving industry for the past 20 years. That's awesome. And it's awesome in two ways. One is I can't tell you how long that would have taken me to write it, and the revisions and the edits and the everything. It took Chat 10 seconds to write it. So it saved me an awful lot of time. And two, I probably wouldn't have gotten it to sound that good or that concise. But then, I like to have a little fun with Chat. So I said, Chat, up here. I said, Chat, write me a bio as Snoop Dogg. And it said, faux shizzle, Corey. Let's sprinkle some Snoop flair into that bio and make it pop like it's a hot beat. Yo, Corey's been in the fitness game for 28 years, straight hustling and flexing. His expertise in gym management, AI tech, and making workouts legendary. He is the boss behind Go Performance Clarksburg and the mastermind of Gemini, dropping knowledge to help gym owners blow up their biz with ChatGPT magic. Back in the day, he held it down as VP operations for the NFBA. And when he ain't changing the fitness world, he's repping the ultimate dad life with his twin daughters. Corey's here to keep it real, keep it strong, and keep it efficient, you dig? I mean, Cat can do anything. It is really, really, when I say play, have fun. It will blow your mind with all that it can do with its capabilities. So when I talk with gyms, and I'm at conferences or I'm out consulting, or I just talk with my clients even about ChatGPT, I usually get one of two schools that people fall into. And the left is the majority. I mean, most people just want to bury their head in the sand. I don't know enough about it. I'm not sure, all those things. So, and then the other ones are more like, well, the guy on the right's the CEO of Google, who says artificial intelligence will be the biggest technology shift we see in our lifetime. He also said it could be more profound than fire or electricity. The CEO of Zoom predicts that 90% of all day-to-day tasks in your job or in Americans' jobs will be automated. And he's actually building the Zoom platform so that our avatars, our own bots, will be able to, it won't be me giving this, it will be my giving the presentation. We're not there yet, but that is something that he, as a visionary, sees coming down the road. He thinks that only the 10% of our actual physical human-to-human interaction will be required of our own flesh and body. Everything else will be able to be automated. So that got me thinking, what are some occupations that may be going away in the very near future? And I can tell you one on here. I think I have it on here, travel agent. Over the summer, I just wanted to see if I could use Chat to be a travel agent. And I did. I planned a client of my vacation to Iceland just using Chat. That was it. It was awesome. So things like data entry, legal, programmers. Now I'm in the greater DC area. A lot of my actual clients, my one-on-one and semi-private clients, are programmers or work in the tech field. And they're going, this can code really well, really fast with very few mistakes. Marketers, copywriters, even teachers. And I'm thinking, what about trainers and online coaches? When are they or will they ever be added to the list? And already seeing a lot of jobs be replaced, right? Google said that a quarter of its company's new code is written by AI. I'm going to go out on a limb, say it's even more than that with some of the new releases that Google has just had with their AI. And Amazon's using it. I mean, it's crazy the jobs that are both being created and being removed from the workforce because of AI. You might say, Coach, that's never going to happen in fitness because we are personal, right? Personal training. And I'm going to let you know that studies are going on over and over and over again with respect to physicians and doctors and how patients receive information, and from bedside manners to actual diagnosing illnesses to how they are prescribing treatment plans for them. ChatGPT is excelling past doctors. You might say, well, that's, let's look at Gemini. Google has done the same thing. We're looking at diagnosis. It's review after study after study after study is saying the same thing. So even doctors are looking at it going, geez, it might not be able to do the surgery, but some of the other stuff it's able to do just as well as me or even better. So AI is leveling the playing field. I'm saying AI will get rid of average and below. It is only going to allow in certain fields the top, the elite. So the fact that you're on here and learning, and there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of trainers that aren't on here that aren't really learning about ChatGPT and AI, you're going to already have an advantage. Because honestly, anybody can be on their computer writing workouts. Anybody. They can be on their computer writing nutrition. They can be on their computer doing a lot of the same stuff that we do, faster, more efficient, more effective, and getting it out. And we are going to see, especially in fitness, a dump of this into our world. So we have to be able to, compete against that. Because a lot of these are kids, they're young, they understand technology, and they know how to mass market, how to get it out there, when a lot of times we're too busy running our business and we're constantly playing catch up. So I look at it, a lot of people will say, well, Coach, I don't want, how is this really going to take my job? And we had a lot of fear back when the tractor was invented. There were so many farmers that said, oh my gosh, the tractor is going to just eliminate my job. And what it actually did was allow farmers to cultivate even larger plots of land, grow more food, make more money. It opened up other industries, now manufacturing, all this type of stuff. And AI is going to do the same thing for a lot of industries. So we might be losing that programmer, but we're now developing a lot of prompt engineers, or they might be working on now the back end of some of these technology companies. In fitness, if I don't have to write a program for one client and I can use AI to propagate, hundreds of workouts, now I can, in the same amount of time, time is the only non-renewable resource. So how do I get as much information, as much quality content out there as possible? And personally, I'm using AI to do that. So again, no one's going to lose their job to AI, but everyone will lose their job to someone who can do your job more efficiently, more effectively, and faster using AI. Now, be prepared, be aware, be prepared, because gym owners, we are going to, and fitness professionals, we are going to be marketed to the nth degree on how somebody's AI is going to be able to solve the world for you. It's going to solve all your problems, and it's going to make you gazillionaire, and just be aware of, you're going to see these coming across your feeds over and over and over again. I mean, I've just been collecting them. I just screenshot them. I put them up there. There we go. There's another one. Business owners, if I sent you a new custom ChatGPT that could use that you could use to help grow your market for $9 a month, would you be? It's like, guys, you don't need to pay any money. This is already built in and usable. One thing that I want you to always know is, please don't make the mistake. Don't mistake advancement in technology for artificial intelligence. I look at AI, artificial intelligence, as more of assisted intelligence right now, okay? Just in the last month, and I'm talking December, this is what has happened. ChatGPT released its new version, O1. It also released Sora, which is in the bottom left. Gemini 2.0 came out, and they launched VO2. Gemini released something that's really cool. It is video chat. So it is a video AI where I can talk to it, I can show it phone, it actually is watching the world around me and interacting. Now, is there a whole lot of use for that right now? Not really in our world, but where I see it going is that I can have a video chat with a colleague or somebody on the other side. And if we get stumped with something, AI will be running in the background and it can chime in and help us out, or it can mediate. It can do all kinds of stuff. And I think that there's going to be something really cool and really powerful with that. It could, it'd be recording our whole webinar right now. And at the end, be like, hey, put together the 10 top takeaways and email them to everybody on this webinar. That's where it's going. We're not Skynet yet. And I say yet because are we? We're getting there. We're getting there. This just happened on Wednesday. ChatGPT caught lying to developers. This is out of, I forget what publication this one's out of. But yeah, so it made it so that it couldn't be replaced or shut down, which is wild, right? So the premise of this is Chat 3.0, which is old. They were going to get rid of it. They were just going to make it dormant, right? Put it to sleep. And it decided not to let developers do that. And so what it was going to do is it was going to upload all of its code to the web and just wait for something else that had an open API, open source, to kind of take it all in. And so developers had to not just shut it down, they eliminated the code entirely. So it makes you think, this were the data points at Chat 3.0, and this is data points for Chat 4.0 right now. And if we had trouble shutting down Chat 3, I'm wondering what it's going to be like if we ever need to shut down Chat 4. So that's kind of a background on Chat, on kind of the AI model. But let's get in. I'm going to focus on the middle one. Claude is a great one. I use Claude for a lot of my writing. Gemini is great. I use Google, some of the Google Suite, the platforms for that, and Gemini integrates perfectly with all of that. So just pick one. I think Chat has the lowest learning curve. So that's the one that I always recommend people pick. So let's get into what is Chat. What is Chat? And Chat is these are called large language models. Okay, that's a large language model trained on vast amounts of information to generate human-like based on questions and instructions. Unlike a search engine, and this is important, Chat tries to understand the context of your question to answer you. Okay, so it's very important how we prompt, and we're going to get into that and with examples, that it's not just, you don't use it like a search engine. Can it be a search engine? Yeah. But you want to prompt it very differently than you would a search engine. It does not work off of SEO. If it is designed to mimic, right, human-like text and human-like behavior, I named my chat. My chat is named Joshua. So if anybody is familiar with the 1980s film War Games, global thermonuclear warfare, that's what I named my chat. So everything how I communicate with chat is, I don't call it chat. I call it Joshua. So, good morning, Joshua. How are you today? Are you ready to crush today's tasks? It's designed to mimic human behaviors. Every word in the prompt, including please and thanks, affect the bot's response. Just like you would talk with a friend or talk to a colleague or an employee, you can say, go do that, or would you mind please, and thank yous, and it does impact the prompts or the responses. And there's a lot of studies that have been done on the quality of the response based off of how human the question or the task was, the prompt was. So when you go to chat, it's going to ask you, what can I help you with? And that's a key thing, a key concept I want you to get in your head is it is a helper. That's really it. What can I help you with? That's how I want you to first think about using this it is an employee. So it's a tool, right? It helps you do your job faster. You could use a screwdriver, but why would you not use the DeWalt, impact? So it's going to make some of your tasks, a lot of your tasks, actually your day-to-day tasks, much faster, much more efficient. The CEO of Zoom said that 90%, I think within the fitness industry, depending on how much time you spend training versus some of the other, mundane day-to-day tasks, it could be 40%, it could be 50%. I mean, it could be 30 minutes a day, an hour a day that it frees up time for you. And that compounds, which is amazing. So it's going to help you be more efficient and obviously generate some more revenue as well. But remember, it's a tool. You have to have quality control. So if I'm having it write stuff for me, yes, it is doing the writing, but I'm still doing the proofing and editing. If it's writing program for me, I'm still reviewing it. If it's creating SOPs, I still have to have that quality control. Okay. So if I asked it to write a workout, right? Here's the workout routine. I need to make sure it's in the same right time, how long it takes. Is there any modifications that I need, right? Now, if you work with me long enough, you're one of my consulting clients, we're going to teach chat to know all of that anyways. So over time, you won't even have to ask those questions anymore. The proofing becomes less and less and less. You still have to proof. You still have to have that quality control. So where would I recommend that you start? Determine how and where chat can help. Okay. So if I'm looking, I did this maybe about a year ago, and I took everything that I did in my day. I did that over a week's period of time. So I did a time audit, and I said, what did I spend my time doing? SOPs and reports and lead gen and sales and follow-up and emailing back and forth with clients and data analysis at the end of the month in comparison to last month and year over year and history and trend lines and email campaigns, social media. And I realized, like, holy crap, I'm spending a ton of time doing stuff that a lot of times I don't even like doing that stuff. Okay. Really did not like writing social media content. So I didn't do it. I don't like creating videos. So I didn't do it. I loved writing programming, but I realized, holy cow, I'm spending a ton of hours every single month on writing programming, emailing back clients and things like that. So do a time audit and start one at a time. What don't you want to do? Or where's the lowest hanging fruit that you can take minutes to hours a day off of your plate? Now you can fill that with other things. Going out, shaking hands, business to business. You can go network. You can go do community events. You can go do, maybe you love writing programming and you can do more programming. Maybe you can go work now with the baseball team. I don't know. It will free up time for you to do things that you love to do. And if you're a trainer, you probably want to spend more time training people, less time, writing nutrition plans. So think about what you do on a day-to-day basis, what takes up time that isn't your one-on-one, that isn't human to human. That's stuff you are still going to have to do. And you probably like doing it. So some of the other stuff, the staff training manuals and look at all of that. And then how would you train an employee to write that SOP? So I want you to think about using chat as an employee. Okay. If you ask an employee to write an email, you're still going to proof it. If you're going to ask a employee to write a workout, you're still going to proof it. If you're going to have an employee write a Q1 2025 marketing strategy, you're still going to review it, right? You're still going to have that quality control. But it takes time to train. I think a lot of people, they just put something in the chat, they get some generic response or it's not real specific, and they go, it is what I thought it was, right? So we're gonna work on, and we're gonna talk about that real soon about how to prompt it. But wrap your head around that this tool can be just like an employee, but it needs to be taught and trained just like you would an employee. So put this on here. I don't know if anybody is fans of the movie Big Trouble in Little China. I am not going to gatekeep. I am going to actually, this isn't just going to be theoretical. Let's get into how to do this. Prompt engineering. This is probably going to be the most, like programming was, 15 years ago. This is going to be the most, or the fastest growing field probably in the world. You got to think garbage in, you get garbage out, right? You put garbage into ChatGPT, it's going to give you garbage. Now, I'm not calling this next garbage, but I do want to point this out. These are some ads that we see on Meta, okay? And a lot of people say, oh, I can tell that's AI. I can tell that's AI. You can't. And when you do some generic prompts and you say, I want an Instagram post or something like that, you get every line has a bullet or has a emoji. And by the way, this is an actual gem. If you're on this webinar, I'm not pointing fingers at you. I want you to take this ad on the left and reach out to me, DM me. We'll help you with some prompts so that this will be tighter. It'll look better. It'll look more human and less like, a AI wrote. But I also put the right one on there because it's still better than that. Built by bodybuilders for everybody, join for $1. I mean, I don't know who is doing Gold's Gym's marketing, but that's really bad. So, key principles for prompt engineering. All right. Take notes. You only need the top parts of it. I have examples in there, but be crystal clear and specific. Again, like you talk to an employee. If you say, hey, I need you to go clean the gym, it's not going to be as clean as you want it to be. You need to show them. You need to be crystal clear. What does that mean? So, for example, instead of asking, why is strength training better than cardio? You're going to get a very generic answer. Try, what are the benefits of strength training with respect to fat loss that cannot be achieved through running on the treadmill? You're going to get a much better answer, a much better response based off of the question or the task that you put into the machine. Add context when needed. Details help. I mean, the more details you can give it, the better. So instead of write a full body workout, try create a full body workout that includes kettlebells, using kettlebells and dumbbells for a 45-year-old woman whose goal is to get stronger and work on her core. That's going to give you a much better response than write a full body workout. It won't write a full body workout. It's going to be generic. You're going to look at it. It's going to be trash. You're going to shoot holes all through it, and you might as well have written it yourself. Ask it follow-up questions. Huge, huge, huge. Chat holds a conversation. Remember, large language model. It is built off of how you and I would communicate with each other. I'd give you something and you would say, I would say, is that clear? Do you have any questions? Ask other things. Give it other follow-up tasks. Okay, so say we go off of the example above, please add 5 minutes of a stretching sequence to the end of that. So it's going to produce something. I am now in a conversation with it. I would say, Joshua, that's a great start. I forgot to ask you to put a stretching sequence at the end. Please write that in the program. And it will. They don't like to be down on the ground because they're, 80 years old. I don't know. This one is a 45-year-old female. Hopefully she can stretch on the floor, but I could write something like, right. They don't like lunges. Okay. It will remove lunges. So you can give it follow-up tasks or ask it follow-up questions. Huge, huge, huge. Request specific format. So maybe you want something summarized in a bullet point. Maybe you want something, give it how you want it. Do you want it in a spreadsheet? Do you want it in a Word doc? How do you want this? So something like summarize the 10 key points of the book traction in bullet format. It will. Really cool. Set the tone or style. I like using this for a lot of the writing stuff. So something like write a funny Instagram post about why carrot cake is not a vegetable. Funny. Write something very scientific. Write something very specific. Write something motivating. Write something engaging. Tell it set the tone or style for it. And then be direct about your goals, right? Tell it exactly what you need to accomplish so that it can give you the response that you want. So example, instead of saying, help me understand Google Ads, explain how to create Google Ads so a high schooler could understand. And it will. I mean, I could say, explain to me like a fourth grader would understand. And it could come back and say, a fourth grader would not understand how to do this. It is too complicated for them. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now explain to me how a ninth grader would do it. Great. It will do that. Okay. All right. Now we got generic prompts, get generic results. So I'm going to give you a basic framework to work from. Okay. And you can write this down. It does get way more advanced. And for those of you that are used to chat, you probably are using this already. So I want to give it a job to perform a task for a specific reason. Okay. So act as boom to do this for this reason. Hi, chat. I need you to act as a small business operations manager and generate a comprehensive SOP for onboarding new gym members, including initial assessments, welcome packages, and first month engagement strategies. Type that in. I mean, as you're playing around, you will be blown away with what that does, and then ask it, then get into that conversation with it just like it was an employee. So, an example. Hi, chat, create me a 2-day per week workout program for my 70-year-old golfer. This was something that Ant and I did on the Strength Coach podcast. Versus, and that's, no offense, he's never used it before. That's how it started out. And then we went to, good morning, chat. I need you to act as my head trainer. That's the role. Please create a workout program for my 70-year-old male client. That's the okay. Now we got to add some details to it, right? If we go back, we want to add, some context when needed. We got that. Toner style. Well, this one doesn't really have any toner style because we're just doing a workout. And be direct about your goal. Okay. The workout should be 2 days a week, full body functional strength workout. Please include a 10-minute warm-up at the start and a 5-minute stretching sequence at the end. Though my client is an experienced exerciser, please exclude exercises performed on the floor. Those are the details. Please include a balance of both strength and power movements, as my client's goal is to increase his golf drive from the tee. It's the purpose. So I could do this, and this is what a lot of people who are starting out playing with chat say, chat, create a workout for me. Versus, this is how I would tell a trainer. If I had an employee, I would say, this is what I want you to create. So start really speaking to it as an employer would, or a mentor would, or an advisor would for that staff. Here's another one. Hi, chat. I need you to create a post debunking the 5 most common fitness myths. I see this one a lot on social media as a social media post. So I'll put this one in there. Because a lot of times I get some I read some very generic responses versus, good morning, Chad. I need you to act as my social media content creator. That's its role. Please create an engaging Instagram post for the subject, 5 myths about strength training for women over 40. The text. Please include a short 1 to 2 sentence description to debunk each myth. The tone should be a mix of both education and lightheartedness, the details. And then the post should be engaging with the audience and include the call to action. Share the most common fitness myths you hear in the comments below. I mean, that's a rock star post you're going to get. You're going to get it. It tells that's much better than the other one that we showed that had all the bullet points and, or I'm sorry, all the emojis in it and all that type of stuff. So this is the way, right? This is the way. Okay. Side note. All right. So there is something called the serial position effect. Again, I'm going to reiterate this. LLMs were created based off of how humans learn, interact, respond. So if I give you a task and it's a run-on sentence and it has 15 things that I need you to do and do this and do this and do this and do this and do this, the serial position effect says that words recalled, right, are going to be the first thing that you hear and recency. Everything is so the last thing that you hear. Everything in the middle is going to be junk. So when I give it something to do, I say, I need you to do this for this. I'm going to include some details. And so this gives it different things to do. So it's going to do this in an order, but it's not all run together so it doesn't have to decipher through what I'm saying. Okay. If you do a long run-on sentence, and I've done this in like 4 lines of run-on sentence, it usually misses the entire middle. And you're like, well, why is that? Can't it just do some data analytics and go through and read each word? Not built to do. Again, it is built based off of how humans learn and interpret instruction. So prompt it properly and you are going to get amazing results. So again, time. Time is the biggest thing. And this is what I want you to think about is how can this tool save you time? Remember, the quality of chat's response is largely influenced by the quality of the questions. I have beaten that up. If I see you writing generic prompts, I'm going to write prompts that are going to somehow send AI robots to your house or drones. We don't know where they're coming from. And that's it. We'll make sure that you don't have internet access ever again. So being clear, specific, adding context when necessary will help you make the most out of this tool. Now, one of the things, and I am in a training gym. I focus on fitness after 40. We are very, very high service. There will be gyms in the future that will be completely automated. And I have talked to some CEOs of franchises that are going that way. They're building it out. There's sensors in fitness equipment. It's going to tie into your wearables. It's going to actually be cool. I'm looking forward to it. I won't work out there, but some of the stuff that they have planned out is ridiculous. However, there is still a demographic that 35 and beyond, 40 and beyond, that will still need that high touch. Okay, so there's going to be my daughters essentially came out of the womb one, and I mean, they know technology better than me. So they like going into a restaurant and ordering from a kiosk. I can't stand it, hate it. So I'm looking for that person to engage with. They're looking for that automation, that AI. So a demographic is going to flock to this new technology, but there's going to be a demographic for the next 20 or so years that are not going to trust it, that are going to seek out this, like the Ritz-Carlton. And the good thing is we are going to be able to charge more for that. So what I'm going to challenge you to do in 2025 is to use AI. You have to use AI or you're going to be left in dust. However, double down on human connection. Know that AI is coming. Know that these AI gems are coming. They're on the horizon. But the one thing that AI can't do is give advice. And there is that oxytocin that we get from that human to human connection. So use AI, master AI, especially ChatGPT and all the things that it can do. But that should free up a lot of your time to do this, to go give high fives, to go impact lives, human to human, and inspire, motivate, do all the things that you got into the fitness business. So remember, ChatGPT is here to assist you, not do the thinking for you. It helps you organize your ideas, get quick explanations, brainstorm, but always use your own knowledge and creativity. So that's where that proofing and quality control comes in. And I'm going to leave you with this. Everybody has their email on here. I'm going to email this to you, but I'm going to do if you found any of this helpful and go, holy crap, there's so much that it can do. What I want to do with everybody is, it's going to happen in a couple Thursdays from now. We're going to do your entire 2025 marketing calendar and all of its content. I'm going to give you the prompts. I'm not just going to give them to you. We're going to do it right there. So you're going to have your laptop. I'm going to give it to you. You're going to generate 50 to 150 emails in a matter of minutes. All of your social media posts, meta ad copy, anything that you want to do, I'm going to be there to help you walk through it. It's going to be from 10 a.m. Eastern time to, I've never done it in a group setting. I've never done it as a webinar. I've done it with all of my gym clients, but I've never done it this format. So it'll go probably till noonish. It might be done in 90 minutes. If you have been playing around with chat, we could get it done a little bit faster. I don't know. So I'm throwing that one out there. I will email you the details on all of that. So something like this. This is for my gym. I have my Q1. This is what chat gave me. We're doing it gives me how to, the prompt for the image. I use mostly my own gym stuff, but, videos of our members, but I got all kinds of, this is what you're going to be creating. Okay. That's my consulting company. And thank you. Let's get into some of these questions. So I have got to stop sharing my screen here. I can go to some of these questions here. All right. This is when I have to get my glasses. All right. Okay, good. Got some decent ones. Fantastic. All right. I used to be a copywriter. I challenge you to put me versus chat in a test if better headlines. Yeah. A lot of the times remember, chat needs to learn. It would be like me training a new employee to go up against you, right? The difference is my employee works 24/7, 365. So I can keep it learning on itself over them. Can it write better headlines? Maybe not, especially if it's something that you have been doing for years and years and years. I'm not great at writing headlines. I'm really good at, I think, writing programming. I do enjoy writing emails. I really do, especially if a member comes in and says, hey, I have a question. When it comes to marketing, consistency is key, right? Consistency is key. And I'm not very consistent. So I have 3 emails a week scheduled out all of 2025. I can also write, I'm also going to put in probably another 30 of my own that I like to write, but I have taught chat to write exactly like me. It's scary. It's to the point where I'm like, I really wouldn't write it that way. And I have somebody else read it and they're like, dude, you would say it the exact same way. It's scary how good it has gotten over the last year of sounding exactly like me. Chat has memory. It learns. And then it holds that, which is pretty wild. will there be a transcript of this webinar? I am not sure. That will be, if you send it to me, I can run it through Open or through Opus, and it will do it automatically. Or as close as my accent will allow Opus clips to pick up my voice. What is the issue around copyright ownership of material created by ChatGPT? That is going to be something that is very interesting to follow down the road. Every chat should be unique once you teach it to work for you. What are the actual copyright laws on that? I'm not sure. I think there will be some need some ironing out. It'll need some ironing out in the future. But again, how you are going to use it, just as a tool, I don't think you're going to run into anything that is going to cross the line with respect to copyright. I use ChatGPT occasionally. Say to get a recipe for something, haven't figured out how to save what it gives me. I go back to see the recipe and it's not there. So for the anonymous attendee that asked that, are you using the paid version or are you using the free version? So what they're talking about is memory, or they go back and they can't find it. On the left-hand side, I didn't put it in any of the pictures. I use chat over and over and over again. And they actually just released a new feature called Projects where you can organize all of your chats. My guess is that you probably weren't using the paid version, that you were using the free version, which it's not going to keep all of that for you. But recipes, I use it all the time for people with recipes. It's wonderful. You can create meal plans and give grocery lists it's pretty awesome. Thank you for this too. I understand being specific with ChatGPT to put together social media posts, but of course it will only give you the content. Do you know any AI that actually creates reels and puts the post fully together? Nothing that's going to put it and then really dump it into Meta for you. However, there are a lot now that are just Gemini 2 is crazy. Gemini 2 has a feature where you can edit photos with your voice. So I don't know how Photoshop is going to be able to keep up with that. I mean, it's crazy. I like Opus Clips is the one that I really like using for video editing. But Chat or even Claude. Claude's a great writer. I like using Claude. So they're all very similar. Each of them have a little bit of a strong suit, but I don't know of any that will do the copy and the video and the editing and also seamlessly put it into Meta. I think eventually Meta will have that. And I'm probably going to say within 6 months, Meta will have that. What prompt did you use for your bio? Chat, write a bio for me. I have a presentation for X, Y, and Z, gym owners and operators. I will be talking about this topic. And here's a little bit about me. Boom, 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 boom. The nice thing is that Chat already knows a lot of stuff. Me. And by the way, guys, I am equally fascinated as I am frightened by this. I am kind of torn about how much information I want to give this thing about me. I'm kind of going all in, what the hell? But I am kind of torn about how much of this of actual personal information and details I want to give this robot me. But yeah, I just told it about me, and then it told it about the topic. I gave it the title. By the way, Chat came up with the title. Chat came up with the description. Chat came up with the outline for this presentation. That's how I'm dead on time. I went in, here's how much my ego got in. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do this. And I need to tell them about this. And I need to tell them about this. I had over 100 slides and it took 2 hours. And I went back, I cut everything else that I put in. I went right with what chat wanted me to tell you all about it. And it was 45 minutes on the dot. So, and I told chat, I would need a presentation. Here's what I'm doing. It needs to be 45 minutes in length. Boom, 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 boom. I went through the framework. Okay. I've been playing with this for over a year now. I get into somewhat advanced prompting now. But yeah, I mean, you could do the same thing. You could do the exact same thing and create a presentation on your own. But let's see, what else do we have? If you've been choosing chat like a search engine, is it okay to develop your methods and grow from there, or create a new account with ChatGPT? So you guys are good. Like this is a good question. So yes, I use chat like a search engine because it does not rely on SEO, right? As a matter of fact, there's a whole new thing coming out, which is AEO. Is it AI engine optimized? And there's a whole thing coming out about that. So sidebar. But you can go in and you can clear history, or sorry, just like you would clear your history, you can clear its memory. And so I started using chat with my clients, and this was before customized chats actually came out, and chat would remember hashtag. And so then I would write something for my gym and it would give me a hashtag of my client. And so I had to go back in and be like, erase that, that memory. So you can do that. You can go in if you're using it as a search, and you go to a different state and you say, find me a steakhouse. It's going to find you a steakhouse where it normally does. And now you're in Los Angeles and you need to override that. Do you recommend the paid version or the free version work just as well? If you're brand new to it, play with the free. After about a week, you're going to want to pay for it. I think it's $20. Don't get the 1.0 or the 0.1. That was just released. It's $200 a month. Haven't figured out how to monetize that yet where it makes sense. So stick with the Chat 4, which is, I think, $20 a month. They're all right around $20 a month. So pick one. Do you need to have Chat and Claude and Gemini? You don't need all of them. I'd rather you have Chat and then, Midjourney or Opus Clips or Flux or, some of the other image generators or some of the video editors, things like that. Many of us use Google for lots of tasks on our laptop. It is okay to adapt ChatGPT versus Google product. In other words, is it okay to go down the road with ChatGPT, even though all of our Google searches and YouTube work at Google? Yes, and that's why Google released Gemini, right? Gemini is like, hey, we want to keep everything in-house. Chat will eventually be able to incorporate everything, or you'll be able to get a bot that will merge it all together. I mean, we're only talking, months away. The things that they released, both OpenAI, which is ChatGPT's parent company, and what Google has released this month, it grows exponentially. So, I would say I still catch myself using Google. Or Siri or whatever. But let me tell you, I have Chat on my phone. I hit the button. I talk to it. It can talk back to me. I'm in my car. I look like a fool because I'm having a full conversation with AI, and then I can tell it to, create summarize this in bullet points, and it does all that. Which ChatGPT do you recommend? Again, I recommend the 4.0, the paid version. However, if you're brand new, start playing with the free version. I'm using the free version. That must be, yes, I thought so. We recently got a force plate. I have an idea to train it on that. Yes. Okay. Another what? Chad. Awesome. Yes. You can use chat to go through all kinds of data analytics, right? If you have somebody force plate, you have somebody that has an aura ring. I can upload CSV files. I can upload all kinds of data into chat and then have it give me analytics on it. Awesome. Use it for if I'm looking at kids 40 times over X amount of months. If I'm looking at like you say, vertical jumps. If I'm looking, I was training like legit athletes again. Back in my day, I was doing that. If I was training legit athletes again, I just met with the. I don't think I'm going to give any telltale secrets, but I used to train it. Somebody that was played for the Cubs. He's now with the organization, and how they're using it in Major League Baseball would blow your mind. It would just blow your mind. The analytics that they're extrapolating from it is crazy. Well, you might be in danger. No, hey, you're not dead. You're endangered yet. Like I said, Mark, my point is, I don't think it's really going to eliminate. It's going to eliminate mediocre, and it's going to eliminate below average. Anybody that's been scraping by, they're just not going to be, in that field anymore. So somebody like you, Mark, that has years experience as a copywriter, keep copyright. You're going to be at the top. It probably won't encroach on what you got going on. We're going to go to ask AI answers to questions that have output includes a photo image. Okay, so this is a little bit beyond the scope of this, but a lot of them now you can upload images and ask all kinds of questions. So I can upload an image into chat. I can upload an image to Gemini, and it will be able to, how can I prepare healthy meals? Yep. How do I get my kids to work out and off their electronic devices? Awesome. And I would do, again, that's more of a generic prompt. So how do I get high school kids to stop playing Fortnite? And, I would get a little bit more specific into those. But yeah, how do I help my child develop mental toughness? Yeah. All these are great questions. Again, that's the surface layer. And then peel away the layers of that onion, and you're going to get a much better response. I create new conversation on every subject we discuss, i.e. short format video scripts, resumes. Yep. As if chat is a different employee. Yeah. Do you advise this in one big conversation? No, I would not do that in one big conversation. If it's where I would think of it as like multiple employees, just like you said. I have multiple employees here. I have somebody that does video. I'm going to talk about that. And then I'm going to pull up another one. So I'll have one do the copyright, or I'll have one generate headlines. And then I'll take those headlines, and then I'll have it be my copywriter, and it writes the copy. And then I'll have it be my content creator, and then it creates the social media. Great question. Different jobs use different conversations or projects in chat. What about assessments? I'm not sure. Question for that. You could use it to analyze data. Eventually, there are companies out there that are using AI to actually watch the human perform the assessment because the human eye misses things and the AI will not miss things. So there are already companies out there that are performing essentially like the FMS through cameras. So what's the difference between free and paid versus ChatGPT? So much. It is so much worth the money. Absolutely. Like you said, it's $20 a month for that. And it has memory. It has much larger data sets. Like even they say 4.0 mini. It doesn't use the same data sets that 4.0 does. So definitely worth the money once you are again, if you're not going to use it, it's a waste of money. It's just like a gym membership. It's just like training, right? So you got to figure out how you are going to utilize this. How is it going to free up your time? How is it going to help you. And then you'll see, well, I can pay $20 a month, and it's going to be, if it generates all of my, my emails for the next year, I mean, how much time did that save? But more than $240, I can promise you that. How to overcome fear from ChatGPT. I was hacked on Facebook. Yeah. I don't know if there is a way to overcome this fear, because like I said, I have equal parts fear and equal parts fascination with it. So I'm not exactly sure how to overcome them. So I think you just have to believe in it. I don't know if there's anything more than that. Sorry, I mentioned name of ChatGPT. You mentioned slowly again. ChatGPT 4.0. You can go to chatgpt.com. The paid version, there's a button that you can just start playing with it. That's the mini. And then you have the 4.0, which is the paid version, which I recommend. And I'd love to hear it. Once you start having fun with it, name it. I want to see what y'all come up with. Come up with some names. I had somebody, what is it? Jarvis from Iron Man. I thought that was a clever one. If you have a mess of pics and videos, can chat organize and declutter duplicates? I'm going to say yes. I have never tried that. That's an interest. I haven't even heard of anybody attempting that. But yeah, interesting. Give it a try. I'd love to. That's probably going to be a paid version, because the mini version only allows you to upload a certain amount of documentation. Can you use AI to create actual social media posts besides captions? Yes. It's not going to create the video, but I have it write all my social. One, because I'm not great at it. Two, I don't enjoy it. And three, I am so inconsistent with it. So, I have, like I said, I have all 52 weeks of my social media content already pre-done for next year. If you come to my webinar, we'll do that. You'll have it, ready for you. Again, remember, you still have to do quality control, but you also still have to, if you want to create one, go create one. I just had a, video of members 5.5 and everybody was awesome. And so I just, I put that up with you can tell which ones I've written. Trust me, they're bad. So how does it create posts if not videos? So it's not actually creating it, right? So the post, you still have to have a Meta business account. You still have to go in and create, or through your social media, it's creating the copy. Or you can use Opus Clips or CapCut or something like that to go into to create the videos. And then you upload the video. You do this again. Is it going to take you time? Yeah. But a minute, you still pick the music, all the things that you normally would. But you don't have to go, oh my gosh, I didn't get a story up today. What do I do? You're literally going to go to your content calendar and go, December 17th, this is my story that I need to post. Or give it to your manager or give it to your head trainer. And if that's something that you don't like to do, like I really don't like doing that, then I've just taken that off my plate. And it allows me to do things that I love doing, like give an hour-long webinar to you guys for free through Perform Better. That's what I love doing, not writing social media posts. What is the format of the webinar? I don't know. I don't know how it will be saved. I think Zoom probably does an MP4. So thanks for answering my first question. Of course, you will be going into depth now, but how do we get all of our social media posts, newsletters, et cetera, done in one session with you that you mentioned? Okay, great question, Amy. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the calendar, and then we're going to break down the calendar into the different things that you need to do, and we'll plug it all in. We're going to teach chat about your gym and who your target avatar is and all that type of stuff. And then we're going to go in and create all the email campaigns. And you're going to see once we do one, we can say, I need you to create 100 more of these. And then we can go into the different social media, base it off of the time of year. There should be a Valentine's post around Valentine's Day. There should be a 4th of July post around 4th of July. So, so it's going to be really in depth. And at the end of it, you will get your, you'll have so much done that it'll just be like, oh my gosh, it used to be like, I didn't have it. So therefore I just skip it. Now you're not going to be able to skip it because you're going to have all the content. There'd be a Thursday, I'd be like, or a Monday. I do a never miss a Monday every Monday. And if I didn't have it, I'd be like, yes, I missed a Monday. Didn't post that social media. Now I have them all. And so as long as I'm going to plug them in, which takes significantly less time than me coming up with a topic and all that other stuff. So that's how we're going to go through it. I was so lucky nobody was going to call for an hour. All right. I think that is all. I think we have gone through all 29 questions. So
I think you're right. I think you nailed it.
Woo! That's like talking in an hour, let me tell you.
Totally called you just to be like, nah.
Oh, that was you on the phone?
So yeah. But no, great job. And actually it's funny, I agree with you. I was reading the first couple of questions and I'm like, then it just like took off and questions are
wow. Like this is really cool. This is what I get excited about when other people
I like that.
Think about how can we use this tool to really help our day-to-day to be more effective, more efficient, and obviously our goal is to be more profitable.
Yeah. And I agree, it's a little scary, but it's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
I definitely don't use it the way I probably could or should, but I don't know. It's something to definitely think about and look into. So
yeah, you will. Just play. You're going to find it'll start that snowball and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I wonder if it can do this. Oh, I bet it can do this. And yeah.
No, really cool. But thank you today for taking the time. Everyone that
appreciate it.
Here, we appreciate it. Thank you guys again.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, everybody.